before they even make the jump to be a promoter. That way they can really see the value in the products, because a lot of the people that don't have the money are people that just don't want to fork it out. It's not that they can't afford it. They don't see the vision with it. But when you tell them that you can give them 3-day experience, and then from there you can like talk to them on what they want to do, they see the value behind it. They've already got a testimony with it, and it's a little bit easier to have that conversation.
Yes. Okay.
So really just get to know them and get to know why they want to be a promoter, because sometimes it's not that they can't afford it. And if you have that conversation with them and build that relationship with them, you'll realize that they're just a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, most definitely. So I have like a whole list of notes. Me and Christine worked on this earlier today. So I wanted to talk a little bit about self-development. I'm not going to really like go huge on this, but self-development is so important to keep your mindset right. This, I fully believe this 110% that if you don't do self-development, you won't be successful. You have to have a very thick skin, a thick skull. You have to be able to take criticism and people telling you no, and you can't do that if your mind isn't right. Your vision has to be big. You have to be strong, and the only way to do that is through self-development. Whether it's listening to music that gets you like in the mood in the morning, or listening to podcasts, or music videos, or reading a book, or writing out your why. There's so many different ways to do self-development. Affirmations, writing down your goals every single day, you know, reminding yourself why you're doing this. No matter what it is, it has to be done every single day. Every single day. I can tell you that there's been times where I've gone without my self-development for like one day, and like I don't do nothing because I'm just like, I can't do this. Person said no, like I'm just down. And it's because I haven't done my self-development. So it's just super important to do your self-development. You know, this is running your own business, and you're talking to people, and, you know, you're wanting to help change people's lives. But if you aren't good, if you're not in a good place, if you're not happy, if you're not motivated, you can't pour that love into other people because you haven't even poured into yourself. So that's my little spiel on the self-development. It's super important. Just find 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to do your self-development. I promise you it'll change how you approach this business in so many different ways.
Oh, Fee, you froze there for a minute.
Oh, crap. All right. Am I better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what were you saying? Just the last little bit.
Oh, just like 5 minutes a day, like 10 minutes a day. You know, just do your self-development every single day and be consistent with it. You know, you have to keep your mind right so that you can pour into others. It's really hard to pour into other people when you don't feel good, or you feel like shit, or you're in a bad place, or you're having negative thoughts, because somebody's going to come to you with a problem that you can solve, but you're not going to be able to approach it in the right way because you're not right, because you're not good. And so self-development is so important. And that kind of goes into my next thing about affirmations. Affirmations are really good self-development. I'm huge in the manifesting and all that crazy stuff that not everybody understands, but I write down affirmations every single day. On my mirror, it says in lipstick, my success is inevitable. I have 4K, 12K, 40K, 80K, and 200K written on there. I crossed out 4K, and now I'm working to 12K. I tell myself every day, I'm 12K. I am worthy. My success is inevitable. I can do this. You know, open my mind to help somebody today. Like just every single day. And every time a negative thought comes in, it's not necessarily having to write it down, but like every time a negative thought comes in, I'm like, get out of here. I got this. I'm worthy of this. This is my month. This is my year. Like, and the more you do that, the less negative thoughts creep in. I can tell you, I've been doing this for 6 months. The first 3 months, I was negative as crap. Nobody knew about it, but like I self-doubted myself so much. And now it still happens, but it's not as often. Like I stay in a very good mindset majority of the time. Do you want to say anything to that? I mean, it's pretty like simple. It's just.
Sorry, I had to yell at my dogs. My biggest thing with self-development is, you know, Fifi mentioned, you know, listening to music and watching videos and stuff like that. But I also always try to listen, or I'm a big YouTube fan. Like I watch YouTube videos like I get paid for it. But I like to watch, you know, self-love videos, because like she was saying, like you have to build that thick skin. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get people that say they can't afford it, or people that say that it's a scam, and you're going to let that break you down. And I was the person with our last gig, I was the person that was like, yeah, right, read a book, and I'm all of a sudden just going to love myself. Well, no, it's not reading a book. It's reading multiple books and believing it, reading it multiple times. This book, You're a Badass, can't tell you how many times I've freaking read it.
Yeah.
Every time I read it, I find another reason why I'm a badass, you know. And then Girl Wash Your Face, I've got stuff in here that's like post-it noted. I've read this thing like 3 or 4 times. You know, it's not like you can just read a book to say that you read a book. It's not like you can listen to a podcast just to say you've listened to a podcast, because self-development, yep, you're a badass. Self-development doesn't work like that. You can't just read it or listen to it or watch it just to say that you did. You have to actually soak it up. You have to be a dry sponge, willing to take in all of the information that you're going to get from that book. And you have to believe it. Like, Girl Wash Your Face, the first couple of times I read it, I was just like, yeah, okay, like, she's lucky, but whatever. Then the third time I read it, something clicked in me, and I was just like, huh. And ever since then, I want to say the last 4 weeks to like a month-ish, I've been on this whole like self-love journey. And I can't even explain to you how much interaction I've got just with sharing that. So like, not only are you helping yourself, but if you play that into your brand on Facebook, people are going to want to flock to you. And you know, I'm not saying that they're going to order left and right or join you left and right, but you're creating those relationships. When you do stuff like that, you are planting so many freaking seeds. So when I tell you to do self-development, if you feel stuck on writing a post, do that self-development. Grab something from what you read or listened to or watch and make a post about it. Something that can relate to your life, because there's someone out there watching you that's going to read that and be like, oh my goodness, like, did you just write that from my brain? They're going to reach out to you. 9 times out of 10, they'll at least comment, and then there you go. So self-development is not only helping you, but it's helping you create your brand, and it's helping you change lives at the same time.
Yes, I love that. I also wanted to talk about a little bit about staying motivated, and that kind of goes along with like self-development and doing affirmations. Sometimes, you know, at the beginning of the month, when you feel like it's a fresh start, you know, you're super motivated, you're super pumped up. Middle of the month comes, it kind of dies down a little bit, and then at the end of the month, you're like, oh, I'm not where I need to be at. And you know, that can be very discouraging. You fall off for a few days or a week. You know, try to, and make it a challenge, like challenge yourself. This is how I do things, because like I was that girl in the middle of the month, I started falling off because I wasn't where I wanted to be. And then the end of the month, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen. You know, all those negative thoughts start creeping in. So like, I just started challenging myself every single day. I'd wake up excited, motivated. If I wasn't, I'd put one of Katie's videos on. I'd put one of M's videos on. And I would just listen to it and have them pour into me. I don't care how many times I've watched these videos. There's just something about them being pumped up and so motivated. Like, it just puts you in this mood. You know, we have, and there's so many, like, whoever you relate to. There's sometimes where I like to listen to Dustin Bland. I'll go on his team page and listen to some of his videos. Find something that motivates you, gets you excited, whether that's, you know, rewriting your why or reminding yourself why you're doing this. Because I can tell you, if you work consistently and stay motivated every single day and you give it 110% the entire month, you are going to see a huge difference, rather than working really hard for a couple of days and then dropping off for 5 days, and then working really hard for a couple of days and then dropping off for 5 days. I did that. So I can tell you there is a huge difference between working every once in a while to, okay, I'm going to do this every single day. And I just started challenging myself. I would give myself challenges every day. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be excited. No matter what's going on, I'm going to pour into my business. Because for me, like, I have big dreams. This is not something I can fail at. Like, this is going to happen. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take me to get where I want to be. Like, it's happening regardless. So I pour into myself. I pour into you guys. I love on myself. Shoot, my battery's going to die. Hold on, let me plug you guys in. But you know, I keep at it every single day, and I don't let down. And so I want to challenge you guys.
Froze.
What?
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Okay. I had to plug it in.
It cut off after you plugged it in.
Oh, okay. Well, we're good now. So, like, just challenge yourself to pour into yourself, pour into your team. You know, whatever you have to do, whether it's listening to music. For me, it's 80s music. You know, I'll do stories of me. You know, I did a story the other day that popped up in my time hop where I was jamming to New Kids on the Block. Like, do whatever you have to do to get you motivated and going. And I promise you, do that for 30 days and you are going to see a huge difference in your business. People are going to see it. People are going to reach out to you. People are going to talk to you because they're going to be like, okay, she's serious. Like, she is taking this to the next level. And that kind of goes into a little bit of being a self-motivator and a self-starter. Let me see. So, like, me and Christine are only one person, okay? And if we can't get to you guys immediately, I want you all to know that there are resources out there. Like, if you can't remember a price of a product, you can find that in the cloud office. If you are struggling with signing somebody and we can't get to you immediately, go in the Hustle and Thrive tribe and you can search those videos. Promoter trainings, customer trainings, selling sample pack trainings. Like, there is literally everything under the sun in that group page that you can find it. So, you know, use these resources. You know, that's what they're there for. We are here to guide you and help you. But at the same time, you are going to be growing a team. So you need to step into that leadership role and be like, okay, I'm going to figure this out, and not be like, okay, well, Felicia's not available, so I'll just have to wait 2 or 3 hours to get this answer. Like, when I signed, my enroller exploded rather quickly. And she didn't respond to a lot of my messages because she was so busy. So I took it into my own hands. You know, I looked at videos. I went on YouTube. You can go to YouTube too. Research conversation strategies, direct sales marketing, attraction marketing, network marketing. You can literally search anything. And it's going to help you be more disciplined. You know, because we're just one person. You know, I have my kids and my other business, and, you know, Brian, and cooking dinner and doing laundry and running this business as well. You know, Christine has a part-time job and she's doing things too. So we can't always be there as soon as you ask a question. So I just don't want you guys to just sit and wait. I want you guys to use those resources. And that's just going to be a learning experience for you, because then you're going to know how to show somebody else to find this, you know. Christine, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
The one thing that I love, and I think it was either Em or Katie that said it, and it stuck with me ever since they said it, was the moment you decide to join this business, you're a leader. It doesn't matter whether you have 0 people under you or 5 people under you off the first jump. The moment you click that promoter button, you are a leader, because eventually you will have people, you know, and my thing is that I'm in charge of keeping this entire house of 3 people tamed. So I'm forever leaving my phone in another room, so I know I'm not the quickest. Felicia will literally text me and message me on Facebook and be like, hey, check your phone. But, you know, the moment that you join, you're a leader. And even if we can't get to you, you still need that knowledge in the future. You still need that knowledge for those conversations that you're going to have. So you can't, not saying that you can't rely on us, but you can't rely on us for everything. Basically, what we're here for is to help you through conversations. If you're stuck on a post, you know, you can send us your idea and we can send it back. You know, it's the tedious things in your business that we're here for. We're not here to feed you all of the information at your beck and call. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's just the truth of it. I didn't have anyone there for me. You know, me and Felicia both have the same enroller. And I think I joined a little bit before Felicia. And even then she didn't have the time. You know, it's not that we're being hard on you guys and saying that, you know, you can't rely on us and you can't use this, because absolutely you can. But if there's a moment that we can't get to you, you know, just like you have lives. Once you get someone under you, you know, it's going to be hard for you to run your business and their business. And I'm not saying that anyone's leaning on us to run their business, but when it comes to resources that are readily available somewhere else and you're trying to wait for us to answer you, again, this is going to sound a little harsh because I'm bad with words, but that's selfish. That's saying that you don't want to take the time to go look for the answer that you have a question for. And as far as staying consistent, you know, I'm a little bit opposite of Felicia. So I get like super freaking pumped up at the beginning of the month, and then I get complacent. I get to where I'm happy and I know that I'm ahead of where I should be, and then I sit. And then when I sit, you know, I lose that motivation. And then before the end of the month comes, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I'm not going to hit volume. And so what I have been doing lately is at the beginning of every month, I reevaluate myself. I'll go through my page and see, you know, what worked last month for me and what didn't. And the only way that you can do that is if you stay consistent. Because if you're not consistent, you don't know what's working for you and what's not, because there's people that may want to join you or may want to order, but they don't know if you're still doing it. And I don't, this is personal preference, but this just gives you guys a little bit of an idea. And I don't know if Felicia does it this way or not, but I don't post much, maybe 2 or 3 times a week about the business or products on my page. I may have a picture with it, but my caption will have nothing to do with the business or products. But my stories, I use the hell out of my stories. And I have 60, 70, 80 people watching my stories. And whether they reach out to me or not, they're watching me. And that's where, you know, consistency comes in. If there's a day where I just don't post in my stories at all, I get messages like, hey, are you okay? Like, I haven't seen Moo or Marla in your story today. Or, hey, are you all right? Like, you haven't shown me what you had for lunch today. Like, people notice when you're consistent. They notice when you're not. And if one day, you know, you post about the products or whatever, and then you say nothing, but you're sharing stuff, or, you know, you're just not there, and then a week later you want to post again, or even every couple days, because I used to be there too. See, me and Felicia are letting you know these things so that you guys don't make the same mistakes we did. And my last gig, well, our last gig, I guess, I was the person that was like, yeah, right, I don't have to post every day. Like, when I post, like, the people that are on my page know that I'm with It Works. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
It's okay. It's our private Zoom. You're okay.
But they already know I'm with said gig. I can't remember what our settings are at on our page, so I, like, try to censor myself. But, you know, they know I'm with this gig. You know, they'll reach out to me if they want something. Well, not if I'm not posting. You know, if I'm not posting, they don't know if I'm still with it. And it took me a while to realize that. In my head, I was like, well, I posted a couple days ago, so they probably saw it. They probably didn't, because I think it's like not even 15% of your friends list sees your
It's
post.
7%.
Is it 7%?
7% of your friends list.
7% of your friends list see what you post. I don't know, I know I'm coming up on 3,000 friends. 7% of that 3,000 isn't very much. And I would be stupid to think that, you know, someone saw a post from 2 days ago. That my entire friends list saw a post from 2 days ago. And, you know, when we say stay consistent, it's not only with posting, but it's with interacting too. You know, you post to your stories, so love on other people's stories. I've noticed, because the stories actually have an algorithm too. I'm not exactly sure what the algorithm is yet. I haven't found that.
It's changed a few times, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah, but the stories actually have an algorithm of their own aside from the Facebook, like, newsfeed. So not even everyone's going to see your stories. I have noticed when I interact on other people's stories, now if it's another Thrive promoter or another, like, MLM promoter, I usually tap through those pretty quick. There's a few girls that I'll watch it, and that's just because I love them. But, like, if there's a unique girl that I don't consistently watch, I'll just tap right through her stories, because I know that all she's trying to do is sell me product. But the more you interact on those stories, the more people are able to see your stories. The more Facebook is going to be like, oh, okay, you know, like, she's loving this story thing. Let's show hers to other people. Because when you click play all, it actually doesn't go in the order that it's at the top of your screen. Facebook will pick and choose which stories it shows you first. And I think there's like a certain number that it'll show you, and then it'll stop. And then you have to click play all again, and then it'll show you another group. So when you click play all, they're kind of tricking you. But it's just little groups here and there. And if you stay consistent on those, like I said, that's mainly where I post about my business, because I'm able to post all the time in there. Because on my page, I think I only post like 2, max 3 times a day, and then the rest of it's in my stories. And in my stories, that's when people are really going to understand that I'm a real person, that I'm not just trying to sell them a patch. I'm not just trying to get them to join my team. I'm not one of those people that's going to message them and be like, hey, you're pretty. Want to do what I do? No. I'm going to go about my damn business because I know you don't want to be bothered. But you can watch me, and when you decide that this is what you want to do, I'm going to still be here doing the same thing. And if you don't, if you're not consistent, you're going to have those people that fall off like that. And then they won't be anywhere on your timeline or in your stories.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with all that stuff. You have to think of it like if you had like a brick and mortar business, and say you had a boutique, you know, if you were only open on like Mondays and Wednesdays and you were closed every other day, you would lose business, because people, you know, well, I want to go shopping. Oh, but they're closed today. You know, they're not posting about it today. So like you have to think of this like this is a business. This isn't a hobby. This isn't like just something to do to pass the time. You have to be consistent, and that's not just posting. Posting is great, but like we said, only 7% of the people see it. You have to post. You have to interact. You have to message people. And I'm not saying cold message, but I'm just saying like building relationships. You have to be in the stories. You have to react to stories. Like these are things that you have to do every single day so that people know what you're doing. And like with the news feed, for me, I feel like newsfeed is like a snapshot of, kind of what you're doing or who you are. And like your stories is like a reality TV show, of like your life. And like in the news feed, I do talk about the products, but I don't do the whole like mental stability and mental clarity and weight management and immune support. Like I don't do that. I will have a picture of like me wearing the product, but then I'm talking about what it's doing for me, how it's changed my life, because you want people to be relatable to you. Like I got so much interaction on my before and after today, but it was because of how I talked about it. I talked about my IBS and continuously struggling with bloating, and that I hadn't taken my balance in over a week. And then I took it last night and it was like, boom, like instant before and after picture just of one day. So it's you have to like share who you are, your struggles, how it's making you feel, how it's changing your life. You don't want to just list the products, the ingredients, what it does, because that's commercially, that's kind of salesy. Like, oh, you need to get this, they're only so and so and they do this and this, jump on my inbox. That makes nobody feel shit. I'm sorry, but they don't feel nothing from that. They're like, oh, she's just selling shit. We'll move on from her. Like you want to make people feel something, have emotion in it, talk about how you're feeling, how it's changed your life, talk about your struggles. I love to do like before Thrive, I was like this. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was having seizures. All these things were happening. I wasn't sleeping. I hated life. Put Thrive in. Now look at me. I'm excited, happy, motivated, no depression, no migraines, no, none of this stuff. People want to see that, okay, she was struggling and now she feels better. What is she doing? You always want to make people feel something, have emotion in it. So, yeah.
Another thing I want to mention is I never, unless there's like a super good sale going on, I never put prices for anything, anywhere, ever, because then there's their answer. If they really want to, let's just say DFTs, if they really want DFTs and you put that they're $50 in your story or on your page, they're not going to message you. They're going to be like, oh, they're $50. All right, well, I'll wait till I have that $50. And then guess what? They're going to wait for a really long time. Because
and that's part of creating that curiosity. You want them to jump in your inbox and be like, hey, what are these patches? Like, what's going on with this? How much are they? And that's when you can insert and be like, okay, girl, these patches are going to save your life. You're going to have so much energy. Like, they are $50 right now. I got $25 product credits. Let's get you on it. That is how you get into their head. And they're like, oh my gosh, she's super pumped. Like, she's like ready for me to go. And that's a part of that, having that confidence, that when people feel your confidence, they can feel it. If you are wish-washy and you're like, well, they are $50, but the patch is really good. Like if you are sounded like you are terrified to tell them the price, they're not going to be sold. You need to tell them why they need this in their life. You need to let them know how this is going to change them. And if they don't order it today, they're going to hate life. Be confident, because I'm telling you, I would chop off my left arm to have these products. I cannot live without these products. For me, they're priceless. This girl hasn't had seizures or twitch or blacked out in 6 months. I would pay anything for these products. So when you get people on this, and you need to let them know that, like, it's going to change your life. You will never go without Thrive ever again. Like, we need to get you on this. And that's exactly how I explained it to people. I tell them my story of like, I was epileptic. I was bipolar, manic depression. Like, I couldn't do anything. If I wasn't depressed, I was twitching. If I wasn't twitching, I was having a seizure, and then I was down for a week. Like, I would chop off my left arm. When I'm out of my shakes, like today, like, I'm pissed off. I was super angry at my mailman for taking forever. Like, I have to have these products, but you need to have that confidence. You need to, even if you have to fake that part, like, force yourself to be like, if somebody's like, how much is this? Okay, it's $150 for a month supply of all 3 products. So you get a month supply of capsules, a month supply of the shakes, and a month supply of the DFTs. Don't even be scared.
I usually try to throw in there too that it's $5 a day for 3 products a day.
Yeah, if you need to break it down and make it simple for them, be like, look, this is going to replace your coffee, your tea, your soda, Tylenol. I've even gone as deep as like Tylenol, because you're not going to have a headache either. So like, I
can't tell you the last time I took naproxen for my migraine.
So like, if I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I tell people, like, I actually save money using these products because I'm not on prescription meds. I don't have to take Tylenol anymore. Like, no coffee, no tea. Like, I drink water. I crave freaking spinach, for crying out loud. Like, trust me, you need this in your life. And people like grasp onto that, because that kind of excitement and motivation and hype, people are like, it's contagious. People want to feel that way.
And when I tell you, voice messages will take your business like to Pluto.
Oh man.
Voice messages are gold. Yeah. I know people like Lindsay doesn't do voice messages, but that's just because she's bad at humaning in general. But if you are that way, or until you get comfortable using it, you can voice message me all day long, and that'll get you comfortable doing it if you want. But if you're not comfortable right now, I obviously say, work your way into voice messaging. But if you're not comfortable right now, learn the verbiage. Because, it's one thing to say, oh, well, these are $50 if you want them, versus these are only $50 and they're going to make you feel bomb. Like, you have to learn how to talk to people. It's kind of like a psychology game.
Yes. Yeah, consistency is just amazing. Voice messages is amazing. I wanted to talk just a little bit about building relationships. I see a lot of conversations that happen where it's like, hey, how are you doing? So you want to try my products? Building relationships has absolutely nothing to do with the business, has absolutely nothing to do with the products. When I am building a relationship with somebody, I do not bring up the products. I do not bring up the business. I'm getting to know them, their life, what they got going on. People love to talk about themselves. And it's like, hey, girl, those glasses are super cute. Where'd you get them? Oh, I got them here. Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any kids? Like, I got 4 boys that are driving me nuts, and I just need to, like, vent right now. Like, people love to chit-chat, and that is building a relationship. I know you get excited about, oh, I'm talking to a new person. I just want to tell them all about everything I'm doing. You can't. Like, continue to build that relationship with them. And then when you get to, a place where they're comfortable with you, you're comfortable with them, and you want to bring it in, that's fine. You have to find creative ways to do it, but you guys need to be building genuine relationships. Talk to them, listen to what's going on with them, because when they do start talking to you about their health issues or something, you can listen to them and you can help them in the best way possible. If somebody's just like, oh, I want to lose weight. Okay, well, I can get you on the 3 steps. Oh, and then there's balance. Oh, and then there's this. Oh, well, yeah, let's just it becomes overwhelming to somebody. Find out what their deal is. Do they diet? Do they exercise? How active are they? Do they eat breakfast in the mornings? Do they only eat at dinner time? Like, what are they eating? How active are they? What are they do? Like, you need to find out what is going on with them so you can recommend the best thing. Because if you just start throwing products at people and you don't even know what their issues are, they're not going to see results. And then you're going to have unhappy customers. You know, if somebody comes to me and they're like, I want to lose 100 pounds, I just saw your balance results. Okay, honey, balance isn't going to do that for you. Balance is for gut health. And yes, it does like unswell your stomach. But if you want to lose 100 pounds, you're not going to do it on balance. So you have to listen to them and know what these products do and be able to recommend the best product for them. So building relationships is so, so important when it comes to that. A girl messaged me today because of my balance before and afters. And I was like, well, how much weight are you looking to lose? And she was like 100 pounds. And I was like, well, balance is not something I would recommend to you just yet. But I think the 3 steps would be major for you. We could like a month later, upgrade to burn. And then we could try the balance once you start losing some weight and seeing some results. You have to know what they're going through, how they eat, how they exercise, what their issues are, like their health problems. You know, you have to find out all that. Do they have allergies? Like, you need to find out all the information so you can recommend the best for them so they are guaranteed to see results. And also, when you stop seeing people as a price tag, I promise you your business is going to change. I promise you. Stop looking at people as a sale. Oh my gosh, she wants patches, that's $50. Oh my gosh, she wants the 3 steps, that's 150. Like, stop looking at it like that. That's almost like, it's not a negative thought, but it for me, because I'm into all that, manifesting goo stuff. But for me, that just kind of is like, it puts a bad vibe in the air, because people are more than a price tag. These are health issues. These are people who want to feel better. These are moms who are tired of feeling exhausted. These are dads who are single parents. These are, we're all people. And you need to look at it as changing somebody's life, genuinely changing somebody's life. When you change your mindset, I promise you the business is going to change. When I first started with Thrive, I was so upset because I got nowhere with my last company. And I saw people as like, oh, another customer, oh, another customer, oh, there's a promoter, there's a promoter. And that's all I saw was like me promoting, me moving up. And that's not what this is about. This is about changing people's lives, whether it's with the products or the business. And you have to change your mindset when it comes to that, because if you only see these people as a number, they're going to feel that. I get cold messages. I get messages from other direct sales.
You're cutting out.
Am I really? I don't know why.
You cut out a little bit.
Did I?
Just the last little bit again.
Okay. So I get messages from direct sales company and they're like, oh, I made so-and-so money, you should buy from me. No. If you are looking at people as a sale, they can feel that. They'll know that, and you're not going to get that sale. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them how they're feeling.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Am I back?
You're glitching out.
No!
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
The last thing we heard was that you're looking at them like a sale.
Oh, yeah. Just don't look at them at a sale. I'm scared that if I say it again, I'm just going to freeze. Let's see. Where was I at? We talked about that.
The biggest thing I want to kind of piggyback off of that for is get to know your audience. A lot of my conversations have started, I just got a cold message about a product tester. That's nice. Anyways, get to know your audience, because a lot of my conversations have come from me commenting on someone else's lifestyle post, not necessarily like another network marketer, but just your average Jane, I guess you would call it. I had this girl, she had posted about having anxiety and not knowing how to talk to people, and that she felt like anyone that she talked to, they wouldn't understand. And so, and I commented on her status saying, you know, like, I feel you. Like, I was basically letting her know that I had been there before and multiple occasions. And she loved my comment. And in my head, I thought, you know, when you're feeling like that, Christine, you don't really reach out to other people. You like it when people reach out to you. So I took it in my hands to message her and be like, hey, just so you know, this is my story. This is what I went through. And that's what your status made me think of. If you ever need me, I'm here. I know it's hard to reach out to people. That's why I'm extending my hand. And we've had a good solid relationship going on for the last like week. It was actually last Monday I had commented on her status and ended up messaging her. Now, will she order? I don't know, but I know that I'm creating that relationship, and that's almost with anybody. I mean, you don't know for sure what they're going to do, what they're going to decide to do, but if you keep that relationship open, that door will still be open. And my biggest thing is, you know, just make sure that you're interacting on people's posts. Like, interacting will take you very far, because a lot of my relationships have started with me interacting on multiples of their posts, and then it takes it to the inbox because I'm like, hey, I'm not about to have like a 20 comment long conversation with you, so I'm just going to message you. So just get to know your audience, and building those relationships are very, very beneficial to your business.
Yes. Something that ties a little bit into the confidence part is that, you know, learn the products, learn the business. I still, being in here 6 months, I have watched Rachel's product training video probably 2 or 3 times and have taken notes. You know, when it comes to the burn, learn about ForceLean, what's in ForceLean. The more you know about these products and different, and it's like simple things too. Like, I didn't know adding fruit to the shakes does mix with like the formula of it, and your body digests it differently. So you may not feel super energized if you're mixing it with other things, because the different like acids and stuff that are in fruits can affect how your body reacts to it. So it's just a matter of like knowing these different things, because like when you talk to somebody and they're like, okay, I'm not feeling energy from this shake. Okay, well, when did you take it? Did you wait 20 minutes after you take the pills? Yes. Are you drinking enough water? Yes. Okay, well, what'd you mix it with? Oh, well, I mixed it with milk and bananas and strawberry. You know, just knowing little things like that can really, really help you when talking to people who are trying these products. And the more you know about these products, the more confident you're going to be able to talk about them. You know, when you go live and you do like your 3 steps in the morning or whatever, you can say more than, okay, I'm taking my capsules with a full glass of water and here's my shake and I'm putting on my DFT. You know, talk a little bit about the products. Like, what do the capsules do? What's in the capsules? How do they make you feel? You know, talk about the shakes. Talk about that the capsules and shakes are actually one step, but because our body would get too overwhelmed with how many vitamins and nutrients are in it, they have to break it down in 2 steps so that our body is able to absorb majority of it without, you know, freaking out. And then talk about the DFTs, talk about, you know, dermafusion technology, how like it brings your blood cells up to the surface of the skin so that it can go straight into your bloodstream. You know, just learn more about the products. And even when it comes to the business, you know, when you're talking to a potential and you don't know what the VIPs are, or you don't know how much commission you get, or how many customers you need to get free product credit, you know, you can't confidently talk about those things to people if you don't know like the ins and outs of it. It's very basic information, but you want to be very comfortable with talking about it, because in the end, you're going to have your own team. You're going to have other promoters. You're going to have to train them how to talk to people. And so these are all things that you need to know. So just be aware of like what you're selling to people or what you're sharing with people. You know, learn the products, become very knowledgeable of it. I mean, this is a big learning process. And if you don't know what Force Lean is, but you're selling like the number one product, weight loss product right now, and you don't even know what it does or what's in it or what that does for it, it's going to be really hard to sell that to somebody when you have no idea. Force Lean 95 in the burn is a huge, huge deal. So
if you, because for me, I tend to research things as I get the questions, because that's just how my brain works. So don't feel like you have to be an absolute professional before you start having conversation. Don't feel like, you know, we're telling you to do all these things and you have to do that before you do anything. But, you know, just like roll with the punches. You know, if you get a question and you don't know the answer, you're like, hey, give me just a second. I'm going to go ask someone. Or you could just leave them on read, no reply. I do that. I'll read it, go away, do my research, come back and be like, hey, this is what I found. You know, do you have any more questions? Like, you want to be real and be raw with anyone that you talk to. And so I have found when I tell them that I'm not 100% sure, but I will find the answer for them, or if I leave them on read no reply and then I come back and be like, hey, this is what I found, and they respect you a little bit more for that, for being honest with them, because a lot of other network marketing companies tend to pretend like they're professionals, and then they end up referring the wrong product, or they, you know, they try to play doctor and they get it wrong. So like, not only does it help you with your business, but it kind of enhances that relationship, if that makes sense at all. They get to understand that you're not perfect. And if you're talking to a potential promoter, they get to understand that they don't have to be perfect either, that they can, you know, roll with the punches and they can learn as they go. So yes, you need to know all of these things, but you also need to be open with the potentials about being on your learning curve. You know, when we say that if you want to be a 40K, you have to work like a 40K, that's true, but you don't have to actually pretend like you're a 40K. You know, you don't have to sit here and pretend like you have all this knowledge. In all reality, if you're just real with them and you're like, hey, it's going to take me a couple seconds, I'm going to find the answer for you, they're going to respect that.
Yeah, and I think that comes into play with like doing what works for you. Like, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Like for Christine, she likes to look at the information when the questions come to her. For me, I'm very curious. I watch a lot of documentaries. Like, I love information. I soak that shit up. So if something new comes out or I want to learn more about a certain product, and not only that, but I want to try these products myself. So like when I wanted to try Expand, I'm epileptic, so I have to be very careful about what I do put into my body. So I look up the ingredients. I figure out what it is. I just love soaking up that information. And for me, if somebody does ask me a question, because I do a lot of voice messages, I'm not comfortable with finding out the information right then and there and then being like, okay, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I'm kind of sounding like a robot. I can be like, you know what? I had this conversation and I found that this, and that's why I love this product, or, you know, whatever it is. It just, for me, it makes me feel more comfortable to know a little bit more about it on my own. And for me, I feel like it would help you guys be so much more confident in talking to people if you were like, okay, I know the ins and outs of this 3-step, and like I can talk to you all day long for 2 hours in all kinds of different ways, you know. And like Christine said, like if you want to voice message us, like how you would respond to a potential about the products or about the business, do it, practice it, get comfortable with doing it, because voice messages are a game changer. I had one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I know we've been on here for like 40, 50 minutes. It's been like an hour. It's gone by super fast. But so like, if anybody has any questions, put them down in the chat. The last thing I wanted to go over a little bit was branding. You know, I know our group talks about this all the time, but just be true to yourself. Don't be salesy. Don't be commercially. Don't post graphics. Don't share videos. Don't share memes. You know, treat your page like it's a business. People, you know, if you add a new potential and they go to your page and they have to scroll through 6 videos that you shared before they even get to a post about your life or your kids or your family or your husband or like whatever, they're probably not even going to get there because they're going to be like, all she does is share videos. Like, I'm over it. I can tell you right now, if I go to somebody's profile and all they do is share videos, they are deleted because they're not active and all they do is share videos. They don't talk. They don't like nothing. And just be true to yourself. Find those little things that, you know, that are a part of you outside of the business, outside of being a mom, outside of being a spouse. You know, for me, I have my flamingos. Everybody knows this. But I also have my crochet. And I get tagged, or I have people send me crochet videos every single day. People, I mean, even Rochelle, she sent me something today and she was like, hey, can you make this? And I was like, don't you crochet? And she was like, I don't have the time. Can you make me this? I was like, yes, I can. But like, just find something that like it doesn't have to be super serious. I mean, crocheting, I do that I do have my crochet business, but it's very much a hobby. I really enjoy to do it. And it's something I do when I feel like it. You know, I'll go weeks without doing it. And then, you know, in 2 days, I'll crochet 20 freaking beanie hats. So, but it's something that's fun and it's something I'm very passionate about. And I love to share it with people. I love doing like the beanie hats for hospitals and raising money and stuff for it. So like, just find something, you know, if you love to read or you're a nerd or you play like just find something that you like or that you enjoy, you know, that's outside.
You cut out after.
I swear I can't deal with this. Am I good now? See, like your picture keeps going out.
Well, I keep having notifications pop up.
Okay.
That's on my end. But I can hear everything.
I done forgot what I was saying. But yeah, just find something that you you
cut off after, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just move you up here. All right, so just find something that you can connect with that has nothing to do with the business, nothing about being a mom or being a wife, like just something that you have to yourself, you know, and share your story. You know, you don't want every single post to be a network marketing post. You don't want every single post to be a product post. Like, share who you are. You know, I have the epilepsy thing. I have my crochet thing. I have the boys. I have Brian. I have my dogs. Like, I share a multitude of different things. You don't want it to be network, product. Nobody feels anything from that. They feel like you were trying to shove this shit down their throat because that's all you're talking about. Talk about your kids. Talk about your husband or, you know, a new show you're watching. You know, I do it all the time. Like, give me names of shows that I can watch because, like, I just get too attached to these damn shows. And I don't even watch half the shit that these people offer me because I just go right back to watching Vampire Diaries for the 26th millionth time. And I don't even care. But just like interact with people, talk about different things, you know, share your story. You don't even have to get like super personal, but just share different things. You know, I talk about 80s music and my dogs are driving me nuts and, you know, drinking a shake in a wine glass. Like, just be genuine, but keep it creative. You know, you don't want it to seem like we're just shoving this shit down people's throats because that's not what we're doing. yeah, talk about the business, or, yeah, talk about the products, but then talk about your dog, and then talk about your husband, or something silly your kid said, or, whatever it is. I mean, one day I made a post about sucking on chicken bouillon cubes, and I was like, just me? Okay. And people were like, that is so dangerous. What are you doing? And I was like, I'm just kidding. Like, I just licked like one, I swear. And they're like, it's so much sodium. But I had so many people commenting, like, people are nosy and they want to laugh. So just have fun and be yourself and be quirky and weird and whatever. Like, it's fine. I'm known as like the weird Thrive girl that's really unique and goes live about everything under the sun. I don't care. That's me. That's my brand, So yeah, just totally be yourself. And I just want, like, before we end this, I just want to say every single one of you guys is freaking amazing. My mind was blown last month by you guys. Like, seriously, no joke. I can't even imagine. Like, 3 months ago, I was like, oh, I'm 4K, I'm 4K, I'm 4K. And it happens. And then you have another girl pop 4K and you're just like, what's happening? Like, I don't know. It's just weird, but I just love you guys so much. And I'm so proud of you guys. And you guys like have the potential to do so much. Really, I really think it comes down to just being consistent and pouring into yourself. And once you get those two together and you do it every single day, you are going to see a huge difference in your business and people reaching out to you. I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I'm still shocked when people reach out to me and they're like, you're such an inspiration. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so passionate? Why are you so excited all the time? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I am probably the most humble, like, modest person you'll ever meet, because I'm like, I don't do anything. Like, my story's not that special. But like, it really, people can relate to that and they see that I'm genuine. So and honestly, that came from me doing 100-day live challenge and forcing myself to go live every single day, whether I was folding laundry or cooking dinner or opening Amazon packages. Hey! Or talking about my epilepsy story. Like, I will bust your ass. Hush. But like, honestly, I was super uncomfortable, but I just started going live every single day, and people got to learn who I was. People got to learn my personality. They could relate to me. And that's when my interaction and my engagement started going up like crazy. I will murder you. Sorry, you guys. I hate it when my dog barks. Hey! I just totally threw a toy at him. It's fine. But no, I just want you guys, like, every single one of you guys could go 4K this month, and you just have to put your mind to it. Make this a priority. If you're a stay-at-home mom, figure out a routine, discipline yourself. If you work full-time, make it a priority. I have girls on my team who have full-time jobs, and they make sure they do their 6 lists or IPAs every single night. If you really want your life to change and you really want to make this happen, you will find a way to do it. None of us got in this because we had all the time and money in the world. We got into this because we wanted time, because we wanted money. We wanted a better life for our family. I have all my boys home this summer, and it's been really hard for me to find a routine that works for me, but I make it work because this is important to me. And you just need to get your priorities in check and discipline yourself and just be consistent. And I guarantee you, if you just do those few little things, you will see a huge difference in your business. Do you want to say anything on that?
The one thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand is figure out who you are without Lavelle. figure out who you are without network marketing in general, because that's what people really care about. Yes, people are going to see your product post. Yes, people are going to see your business post, but at the end of the day, they don't really care about that. They care about what they can relate to. And the more you share your story, the more you share about yourself, the more they're going to be able to relate to. I'm getting like major feedback on my end. I can hear myself. There was something else I wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to do the same thing all the time. If you realize that something's not working, change it. I mean, that's the beauty about not only this industry, but the beauty of this team specifically is that, you know, we're not telling you to go out there and do all these copy paste posts. We're not telling you to go out there and send all these scripts. We're actually telling you to do what works for you. Like with the difference between me and Felicia, you know, I'm super dysfunctional. That's why people understand that I'm going to leave them on read no reply, go figure out what I need to say to them and come back. You know, I'm dysfunctional and people know that. I'm a mess. I'm also a cat mom. Everybody is always, if I don't put Moo or Marla in my story at least once a day, people assume that they die. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. If I don't show people what I ate for lunch or for dinner, they assume I didn't eat that day because I'm so skinny. I just threw something across the room. I don't know what it was. Anyways, see, super dysfunctional. And my audience is slowly but surely getting to learn that about me. And we're not saying that, you know, you're gonna post your story one time and then all of a sudden people are gonna be super relatable, you know, and find you super relatable. But like, again, that goes into consistency. You have to consistently share your story, consistently show that you're something other than Lavelle. There was a YouTube video that I watched, and I can't remember who it was, that she said, find 4 things about yourself outside of your business. Let's say Monday you post about thing number 1. You know, and then Thursday you post about thing number 4. Then Friday you're gonna post about thing number 1 again. So like, just put it into a rotation until you get comfortable talking about it whenever. You know, be strict on yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Be self-disciplined, because at the end of the day, we can give you all these tips and we can like spoon feed you and regurgitate all of the information that we have, but at the end of the day, it's up to you what you do with it. At the end of the day, it's up to you whether you're going to make an excuse or not. And I'm sorry again if this is harsh, but cut the shit. No excuses. You know, if you feel like you can't do it, then you won't. If you feel like you can do it, then you will. If you want something to change, make it happen. And I know that's blunt, but that's what we have to do. You know, we came from the bottom of the totem pole with our last gig, and I cannot tell you how much of a night and day difference it is over here. So it's not that this comp plan is hard, because the comp plan is super simple. It's that you're making it hard. You're making all of these excuses, and that's what drains all of your energy, and then you can't even focus on the business. But then you're telling yourself that you're stressed about the business when all you need to do is stop making the damn excuses.
Yes.
And that's all I have to say. And I love you guys, and I believe in each and every single one of you. And I want all of you, even if I were to sit at 0 for the rest of my life, I want to see every single one of you at 200K.
Yes. We're all going 200K, just saying. And if it helps you guys, write down stuff. Christine knows I'm a post-it like nuts, but like, I literally today, I've been trying to keep track of the people that I talk to, and I want to do like 5 new messages every single day. And I wrote them down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages. One's a potential customer. One I ended up signing as a promoter. And then like my IPAs, add on Facebook, add on IG. And every time I do it, I check it off. So I can keep track and kind of hold myself accountable for making sure that I'm doing these things every single day. So every single day I write this stuff down. I check them off. I add the people. Because when you do the messages, like I'll write down everybody's name that I shoot a message to. and they message me back, even if we don't talk about the products or the business, I can then go back to those days and make sure I'm interacting with these people consistently, so that I may not have to go into their messenger and be like, hey, I got these products, but I'm going to keep interacting with them and commenting on their posts. So I'm always in their news feed and I'm always going to be in their mind. So, you know, that's something that, you know, maybe you guys can try to just start writing down stuff. Write down people's names. There's people that vote on the polls and they're like, yeah, not right now. I write their name down because they're interested. They were thinking about it. So I'm going to continue to interact with them and keep that in their minds. And they will eventually reach out to you. I'm telling you. There's people that I had no idea interacted or that were even interested in my stuff, and they messaged me out of nowhere and they're like, girl, I've been watching your videos for a month. I want to order now. Like, you never know who's watching you. So just a little tip. But I love you guys. I'm going to hop off here. It is way past my bedtime. But I'm going to get this recording up and then I'll post it in our team page. So the ones that missed out, they can rewatch it, or you guys can rewatch it back and listen to us be ridiculous. So I love you guys. You guys have a good evening.